Hello students, in our today's class we will start the topic Gauss law and its applications. This is a very big topic and it is divided into three different subsections. So our video related to Gauss law will also be divided into three subsections. So today in our video we will see only about electric flux. Okay, that is in standard 12 physics volume 1 unit 1 page number 38. So let us start our today's class. Let us start our today's class. The topic is Gauss law and its applications. Okay. One of the misconceptions among the students in reading this term, it is not Gauss, it is Gauss. Spell it with J. Gauss law. Fine. Section 161, electric flux. The number of electric field lines crossing a given area kept normal to the electric field line is called electric flux. Okay, what does that mean? Normal means perpendicular. Okay, it means that suppose we have a charge, okay, and for either positive charge or negative charge. To visualize it correctly, mostly we take positive charge, okay, and suppose from that charge a lot of electric field lines are going in outward direction, as we already have seen in our previous classes. Okay, in 3 dimension, not in any 2D, it is in 3 dimension, means all around it. Okay, now what happens is we take a unit area, okay, and from that unit area the number of electric field lines passing through this area and being perpendicular to it is called as flux. Okay, now coming to the topic of the book, it is usually denoted by Greek letter psi e. This is called as psi e. The symbol is called as psi, and its unit is Newton meter square per Coulomb square. Okay, it is a scalar quantity and can be positive or negative depending upon whether the charge is positive charge, that is proton, or negative charge, that is electron. Okay, for simple understanding of electric flux, the following figure 1.32 is useful. Here in this figure, let us see how the electric flux is defined. As you can see on the screen that a positive charge is taken, that is plus Q, okay, and from that charge a lot of electric field lines are coming outward. Okay, always keep in mind that what is the difference in electric field and electric field lines. Fine. So here in figure 1.32, these are the electric field lines. Okay, we have taken two regions, region A and region B, which is of unit magnitude of area. Okay, and it is kept in such a way that it lies perpendicular to the electric field lines. Now the number of electric field lines passing through the region A or region B is called as electric flux. As we know very well that as we move away from the charge, the amount of electric field or the electric field lines will decrease. That is why you can see in this figure 1.32 that from region A huge number of electric field lines are passing by, but from region B very less number of electric field lines are passing by. That means the flux at A is more than that of flux at B. Okay, now coming to the concept of textbook, the electric field of a point charge is drawn in this figure. Okay, as we have seen in this case, consider a small rectangular area element placed normal to fields at region A and region B. As we have seen above that we have two regions of unit area, okay, A and B. They are separated by some distance or some gap, and keeping in mind that their area will be same. Even though these elements have same area, the number of electric field lines crossing the element in region A is more than that crossing the element in region B. Okay, as we have seen earlier that there was a charge, positive charge, and from that charge, okay, electric field lines are coming out. Okay, then we have taken two regions, region A and region B, both having same area. Okay, what we have seen there is from region A high number of electric lines are passing by, then region B Therefore, electric flux in region A will be more than that of region B. Okay, the electric field strength for a point charge decreases as the distance increases. Then for a point charge, electric flux also decreases as the distance increases. Okay, so if suppose we have a point charge, okay, whether positive or negative, not an issue. Okay, mostly we take positive charge for visualization. As the distance from the charge will increase, okay, electric field lines will decrease. Okay, electric field strength will decrease and electric flux will also decrease. Okay, so till now we have learned what is the meaning of electric flux, but what is the proper definition or precise definition of electric flux we haven't seen till now. So let us define electric flux for uniform electric field. About uniform electric field and non-uniform electric field we already have studied in our previous video sessions. Okay, so electric flux for uniform electric field. Consider a uniform electric field in a region of a space. Okay, it is such a way that charges are distributed uniformly, or in the vicinity of the charge of consideration there isn't any other charge. Okay, and from that charges huge number of electric field lines are coming out. Okay, in such a way that when we take a certain region, in that region the strength of electric field lines are not decreasing, as well as its magnitude and direction remains the same. Let us choose an area A normal to electric field lines as shown in figure 1.33a. As you can see from this figure, we take two regions, region A and region B. The electric flux for this case is psi E is equal to electric field into unit area or area of the region. Suppose the same area A is kept parallel to the uniform electric field, then no electric field lines pierce through the area A as shown in figure 1.33b. Then the electric flux for this case is 0. As you can see from this figure that region A or area A and area B, let me change the color of the pen. Okay, so here area A and area B are kept perpendicular to the electric field lines. Okay, if suppose this area becomes parallel to the electric field line, in that situation none of the electric field lines will pass through this area, and in that situation the electric flux will become 0. That is psi E is equal to 0. Okay, figure 1.33b we will see below. Okay, so see here three situations we have. Okay, here in figure 1.33a, electric flux psi is equal to E into A. E is the electric field and A is the area. Okay, this is the area, and you can see here that this area A or this region A is lying perpendicular to the electric field lines. Okay, in this figure electric flux psi is equal to 0. Why? Because the area A became parallel to the electric field lines, and in that situation none of the electric field lines have passed through this area, and so flux is equal to 0. But if suppose the given area lies at an angle theta with the electric field, in that situation we have to take the horizontal component of it and multiplied by A. That is, in this situation we have electric flux E is equal to E cos theta into A. Here E cos theta is the horizontal component of normal of this plane. So coming back to the theory, if suppose the area is inclined at an angle theta with the electric field, as we have seen below in figure 1.33c, then the component of electric field perpendicular to the area alone contributes the electric flux. Okay, the electric field component parallel to surface area will not contribute electric flux. Okay, as given in figure 1.33c. For this case the electric flux psi E is equal to E cos theta into A. Further, theta is also the angle between the electric field and direction normal to the area. Hence, in general, for uniform electric field, the electric flux is defined as psi E is equal to E dot A, that is equal to EA cos theta. So this is the general formula to finding electric flux, okay, for a region, and that region must be perpendicular or at any angle lying with the uniform electric field lines. Here note that vector A is the area vector, and that is equal to area A into norm n cap. Its magnitude is simply the area, and the direction is along the unit vector n cap perpendicular to the area as shown in figure 1.33. Okay, so using this definition for flux, psi E is equal to E dot A. Equation 1.53 and 1.54 can be obtained at a special case that if suppose when theta is equal to 0 degree, we have psi E is equal to E dot A, that is EA, and when theta is equal to 90 degree, we have psi E is equal to E dot A is equal to 0. How this happen? What is the meaning of this 0 degree and this 90 degree? Okay, let us once again see figure 1.33 A, B and C. Okay, so let us see in this figure 1.33a how to take the angle. Okay, see, this is the region A, and we take a line perpendicular on this plane. Okay, now that is n cap. Okay, that is normal on the plane A. Okay, now see here, this n cap is making 0 degree with electric field lines because they are parallel. So in that situation, cos theta is equal to cos 0 degree is equal to 1, and so electric flux is equal to E dot A, that is EA cos 0 degree, that is E into A. Again here if you see the region A, this is region A, and the normal here is lying perpendicular to the region A. Now you can see the angle between this n cap line and the electric field lines are 90 degree. Okay, and we know very well that cos 90 degree is equal to 0. So electric flux is equal to E dot A, that is EA cos 90 degree is equal to 0. And in this situation we have to find out what is the angle made by this n cap to this electric field lines, this angle theta, and in that situation electric flux is equal to E dot A, that is EA cos theta or E cos theta into A. Okay, so now I have assumed that you have clearly understood what is the meaning of electric flux and how to find it in various cases. So this is the end of our today's class. I hope you have learned something new and interesting today. And this is my YouTube channel Pratik Singh Classes. Okay, in YouTube browser or Chrome browser or Google browser, just type youtube.com/c/Pratik Singh Classes, and you can see from there all my videos related to your physics. Fine. So till my next video, take care of yourself. Bye bye.